Hey YouTube, it's Sarah. I thought I'd do a video of my roach colony. This is my 50-gallon Dubia roach colony. I just moved them into here about a month ago from 27, so it's not totally packed, and they definitely got some room to grow, but I just thought I'd go over it. So this is a 50-gallon utility tub. You can see I have some tape over these. These are actually like some holes that were in the mold or whatever they put in just for whatever reason, but I needed to tape them all so nobody could escape. I got a lamp running up here, so they're hiding right now. Normally I have the lid on and it's dark in here, but we want to be able to see. So why would I breed Dubia roaches? I breed them because they're better than crickets. If you get into reptiles, the first feeder bug you're probably going to be introduced to is the cricket. You can get it at Petco, and it's what you think of. But crickets have a few problems. They talk all the time, and they stink. They all die for no apparent reason, and they can actually harm your animals. This is something a lot of people don't know, is that if your animals are sleeping, crickets will actually start chewing on your animals, and they can actually start hurting your animals, and it's a big problem. Another thing about the Dubia roaches is they have a higher protein content. I've seen some claims that they've got about a 24% protein content as opposed to 10%. I'm not sure how unbiased that math is, but there is a much better meat to shell ratio with Dubia roaches. So I could understand that. Sorry, I just can't take a drink. I got a sore throat and I'm going to do a lot of talking. So, I started with a 20-gallon roach colony, just a 20-gallon long tank. I wouldn't suggest people use an aquarium. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then if your glass tank breaks, you've got roaches everywhere. So they got moved into a 27-gallon tub eventually, just a utility tub, and now they're in a 50. So in here we have, oh, and I should go over heating. I have a thermostat up here. This is just a cheap little thermostat. We'll probably replace it with something better eventually. This is actually running to 2 different heat pads. Oh, hey buddy, did I knock you up there? There you go. Just, I don't know. I didn't do that, but he was on his back. I'll just kick him back down there. So I got 2 heat pads. I got one in the back of here and one in the bottom, and that's just because of the overall size. I just used a splitter on it. I know it says 101. It's actually about 95. It's just through the plastic. You just kind of got to do the math. So in here we have, and they're all hiding right now because they really hate the light. I just use this so I can see what I'm doing. Normally this would be red, but I'm shooting with YouTube, so I just threw a CFL in it. I'm just looking to see if I can find one that has a good amount of roaches on it. Here we go. And not much on this side, but I can feel by the heaviness. Here's a good one with a lot of roaches on it. So these are the roaches themselves. Yep, let me grab one. This is an adult male, as we can see with the wings, and this, come on. These ones are adult females. So they are sexually dimorphic. When I'm feeding the beardy, I'm normally going for about this size. And I've got them in all different sizes. I also do feed some of the babies off to the cresties. That will probably stop happening once I get my superworms going again and my mealworm breeding, because I am kind of killing my super young roaches, but whatever. They've been doing all right. We've put a lot of money into me and my former partner, and now into getting this colony really going, because we had 2 juvenile bearded dragons, and anyone with beardies knows that that's just a lot of food you're looking at. We were paying a lot of money in crickets, so we really needed to move on to something better, and we got into Dubia roaches, and it just helped a lot. But you start with about $100 starter colony, and I think we dropped another $50 in adding more adults over time, because we did deplete it a bit. But we do, this colony's been pretty self-sufficient for about a year now, so I haven't had to buy anything. Here's hoping it can stay that way. I'm hoping that when I get my superworm breeding going again, I can also take a little bit more pressure off this colony because I'll be feeding some of the superworms to the beardy and some the baby superworms to the cresties. Also going to start doing mealworms next month, so the colony can grow up and sort of take this size. But it is still growing. It's just not growing as quickly as I want to. Those are some oranges in the bottom. Oranges seem to help them breed. I also do feed them cresty powder, which I still have some left. From time to time, as well as this. This is an empty container. I gotta buy some more of it. Waiting for payday because this stuff's not always the cheapest. This is just Gerber Crest Vita Blocks. It has some vitamin C in it, which will help them breed, but it also has a bunch of nutrients in here. We're looking at, what does it say? So I read the B, C, E, all these nutrients, and I'm hoping that feeding these, one, it does definitely make a difference, and they do definitely breed a lot more. I tend to, basically, when I make this stuff, I use orange juice, like, just from the oranges, and mix it in instead of water, and then go crazy for the stuff. And I'm hoping that just this stuff, not only does it help them breed, but it also, is sending some nutrients downstream. No, so this is definitely the way to go if you want to feed a beardy or anything that you're feeding crickets to. Really, you can really take roaches of appropriate size. The breeding's a lot easier with roaches than it is crickets. You just got to keep, you got to have a 95-degree hotspot somewhere. I got my 2 heat pads because of the size of this tank. You get some of these. You can get these from, Uline. You can also get these from other places. You can pick these up at reptile shows. I know some people go for like the 12 egg cartons, but it's really about having the surface area, and this is just the most efficient way to go, is to go for this stuff. They will chew on it sometimes, I've noticed. I don't really care. I actually do have, let's see if I can catch some of the other bugs that's in here, because I do have some bugs in here that aren't roaches, and that is intentional. I haven't just accidentally ended up with some stuff in here, although I did accidentally end up with some superworm beetles in here. Oh, I can see one. Let's see if I can catch. I see that little black bug. It was actually one of those blacks. Here we go. Let's see if I can pull you out. Come on, buddy. So this is a buffalo beetle. It's very tiny. I just added these to the colony about a month ago. Their job is to clean up debris. So they clean up shell casings from the roaches, because those tend to stack up. That's what a lot of this sort of powder in the bottom is also roach poop. So they clean up the roach poop, they clean up the shell casings, that kind of stuff. So they serve kind of the same role as like springtails in your cresty tank or isopods. And you just kind of put them in there, and they can just live with the roaches, and they just keep everything clean. That's a weird. This one's kind of a funny shape. This one, I haven't seen one like this. Whoa. It's kind of longer than it is. Well, crap. Where'd it go? I was going to catch that one. That was a weird looking one. I don't know if that was like a really old female or what the deal was with that. But it was just kind of like longer than it. Normally the females are kind of like shorter and fatter. There you are. Come on, you buddy. What is with you? Are you pregnant? Is that what this is? I don't know what the deal is with this one. This one just looks kind of stranger to me. Maybe that means she's pregnant. I don't know. I don't know as much about these as I wish I did, but it's kind of interesting. Here you go. I'm sorry to bother you. Oh, and I knocked all these out of the way. You just throw them back in here. So yeah, you know, every time I go to feed my beardy, I just go into here and grab some food, and wow, she is massive. I don't know what that means. I really don't. I'll ask some of my bug friends. They'll probably tell me something, but whatever. So yeah, this is kind of the colony. This is how I feed all my babies. Well, some of my babies. So this is feeding the beardy, obviously, as well as the babies are getting fed to the two cresties, which is going to stop happening once I have mealworms and baby superworms, and they'll get some baby roaches from time to time. I do know that they can eat baby superworms because I've done that before. And this is also feeding my two American toads. So this 50-gallon tote, and if you really think about it, now for me the cost is, the food, which is like oranges and, really cheap stuff, and the heat, which is nothing, it's just 2 heat pads. Oh, I should cover this. So here we can see, right here, zip tied in here, let me just pull this right out. This is a fruit fly trap. You can probably guess why I need it, with all those oranges. So this is just a little mason jar, and let's see if I can get it to focus on the fruit flies. You can't see them, but there you go, you can see a ton. A little apple cider vinegar, a little soap, little holes in the top, and I just actually zip tie this right in here. And this, I don't have any fruit flies anymore. That's the basic truth of it. I can keep this fruit in here, not have any problems. I have another one of these outside of the tank right next to the Cresties, and I don't have issues, so I don't have any fruit fly problems anymore because the Cresties also get a mix of Rapashi and Pangea. I ended up with both of them, so I ended up just blending them, and that definitely attracts the fruit flies. So, I just have another one of those, and that just keeps my fruit flies down. I realize the fruit flies aren't a problem to the animals, but they annoy the crap out of me. So that's how it is. And that's all I got. So that's all. So I guess I don't know how to close videos.